Whenever you are working an inverse function, please take note of this important fact because it's gonna help you a lot. Y equals f of x implies x equals f inverse of y, or y equals g of x implies x equals g inverse of y, and so on and so forth, as long as you go by the letter used in representing the function that is given to you. Example 1. The function f over the set of real numbers is defined by f of x equals 1 over 2x minus 3. Find f inverse of x. Solution. Our final answer is expected to be f inverse of x equals 2 into bracket x plus 3. But the question is, how did we arrive at this final answer? Let y equals f of x, which implies x equals f inverse of y. So y equals f of x becomes y equals 1 over 2x minus 3. Remember that from the question, f of x is equals to 1 over 2x minus 3. So y equals x over 2 minus 3 because 1 times x equals x. So making x the subject of the formula, we have y plus 3 equals x over 2. Minus 3 leaves the right hand side and comes to the left hand side, and minus changes to plus. So we have this expression. If we cross multiply, we have 2 into bracket y plus 3 equals x. Let us swap the sides. We have x equals 2 into bracket y plus 3. Take note from the beginning that x equals f inverse of y. So this expression now implies that f inverse of y equals 2 into bracket y plus 3. Take note, nothing changed on the right hand side, but something changed on the left hand side. This x now implies f inverse of y from the initial expression. So if we replace y by x, we have a final answer. Take note, when you replace y by x on the left hand side, anywhere you come across y on the right hand side, you also have to replace that y by x, and what you have is f inverse of x equals 2 into bracket x plus 3. Example 2. Let g on x into x cubed plus 3 be a function on the set of real numbers onto the set of real numbers. Find the inverse function. What this question is simply asking is, if g of x equals x cubed plus 3, what is g inverse of x? Solution. Our final answer is expected to be g inverse of x equals cube root of x minus 3. But the question is, how did we arrive at this final answer? Remember, we have g of x equals x cubed plus 3, and we are looking for g inverse of x. So let y equals g of x, then x equals g inverse of y. So y equals g of x becomes y equals x cubed plus 3. Let's try to make x the subject of the formula, and the plus 3 goes to the left hand side and becomes minus 3. So we have y minus 3 equals x cubed, and we move further. The cube on x moves to the left hand side and changes to cube root. So we have cube root of y minus 3 equals x. When we swap the sides, we have x equals cube root of y minus 3. And do not forget that initially we have x to be equals to g inverse of y on the second line. So that implies that g inverse of y equals cube root of y minus 3. We haven't changed anything on the right hand side, but we changed something on the left hand side. using line 2. So if you replace y with x, remember, once you do that, everything on the right hand side also must obey what you have done on the left hand side. So when you change y with x on the left hand side, wherever you see y on the right hand side, you have to replace it by x as well. So this expression g inverse of y equals cube root of y minus 3 becomes the solution we are looking for after we replace y with x.